All right, everybody. Well, it's a little bit past 9 o'clock. I know a lot of us come in a little bit late. That Seattle time adjustment thing. It's always you set your clock 15 minutes different and you're on time for Seattle. So welcome to 1 Million Cups, everybody. You are here at 1 Million Cups, which we'll talk about what that is if you're not quite sure. You just kind of joined us. My name is Leif. It rhymes with safe. And it's great to see everyone here. I'm excited to have a great day. We've got a great presentation scheduled for us today. And we're just going to dive right on in. This is a kind of a coffee focused themed group. So if you don't notice now, there's coffee cups everywhere. I like to get hyped up on caffeine. So grab a drink of your choice for our presentation today. If you got your drink, hold it up. Show us your cool drink. Nice. And yeah, if you would like to follow us on the social medias, you can do so, because that's where you find out all the information. If you are anti-social medias, like some of us that I know of, you can get our emails, which come in with that link right there. It'll also be in the chat here in a second, and that'll make sure that you don't miss one of these. And mark your calendar. We're here every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Come get inspired. Super easy. It's great to have you. It takes all of you to become inspired. And what are we about? Well, we're here to share ideas, to connect, to educate, and to present. So ask for help, to offer help, to be someone's first experience with entrepreneurship and to learn ideas and see if it's for them. And while we are supporting each other through all this insanity that is owning a business or two or three or four. What differentiates 1 Million Cups from other groups? Well, one is we use the color orange a lot. And two is we focus on presentations, not so much pitches. Pitches could be like you're talking to investors, you're trying to get money, you're trying to sell your product, whereas our presentations are more so, this is my business and I'm working on it and I need some ideas or thoughts, to other business owners. We're here to connect as well. And then we're based out by the community. So we just got a bunch of volunteers here that are making this thing happen every single Wednesday, rain or shine, mostly rain. And we are intentionally inclusive. So we're trying to bring people in that might not feel like they're entrepreneurs or feel excluded from other groups. So yeah, come on in, bring everybody. Coffee's warm. All right, 1 Million Cups Nation. This is not just a Seattle thing. This is across the great country of the United States right now, and all the way from the eastern seaboard to the western seaboard and beyond that, Alaska. So if you didn't get enough today, head over to Alaska afterwards, or next week, wake up early, depending on your time zone, and head to another one. Tons of these all around, super cool, 1millioncups.com. And again, our three pillars are education, presentation, connections. We might not always have the same format of who's presenting on what. Sometimes we might just do education, but it'll always be those types of three. So this is what our space looks like. I keep saying this every week. It's like over a year now that we're, that we used to meet at in South Lake Union in Seattle. This is,
wow.
This is what our group size looks like. And now it looks like same people, but online. So it's nice to see you all here. But thousands of people share their stories the first time here. So just, that's kind of the point is, it's a great place to share your story for the first time. I shared my business idea here for the first time. Anyone else? Yeah, it's a pretty cool place to do it. We've also got some sponsors that make this happen. Again, this is a community-driven thing. We've got a couple local businesses that have sponsored some of the pieces that cost money to run, like meetup groups cost money, which I didn't realize. We provide free coffee at the event, that costs money, and some marketing campaigns from Human Up and a small studio. So big thank you to all those companies for helping out. And our community volunteers. So these people make it happen. We're actually missing one on here. Kareem is on here too. Kareem's over, well, he's in the top right-hand corner of mine. Not true for you, probably. Hi, Kareem. He should be on here. Sorry, we jumped to the deck. It's not because, anyway. So big thank you to all of our volunteers for making this happen every week. It is awesome to have all of y'all. Now, what to expect today? Well, coffee and conversation, we got done with that one already. We're going to have a 6-minute entrepreneur presentation, and this is going to be by Don today. Don's got actually, I'm not going to spoil anything. I spoiled it last week, a little teaser last week, so no spoilers. Going to go into it without a trailer. And 20-minute Q&A is going to happen after that. So the Q&A is an opportunity for Don to get feedback from all of us, or to ask a question, us to answer it, or to just chat a little bit. And then we're going to do a little breakout room session afterwards, so we can talk one-on-one, one-on-two, and just kind of throw ideas out, keep getting inspired, and then you're done for the day. Easy peasy, 1 hour of fun inspiration. Everyone ready? All right, please welcome to the stage Don, all the way over from Texas, even though it doesn't look like it from his background, which is a little, convincing.
Right. Thank you so
So,
much.
should be set to share your screen.
All right, there we go. And voila, okay. Can you guys see my screen okay? All right. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys giving us the time and the opportunity, and especially the feedback. We're really anxious to hear what you guys have to think about what we're putting together. I'm Don Bahlman, co-founder of iOpenInnovations with my wife, my lovely wife who's online, Jessica, fresh in from Taiwan. So yeah, so she's here. I better do a good job. So my background, just a little bit quickly, is about 28 years in technology, and mostly on the product side and development side, and a lot of UX and prototyping. So my job is to pull the pieces together and show that vision in a way that makes sense and gets feedback, basically, so we can actually have a finished product at the end of the day. So what does our company do? Well, we have a mission, and that is to bring safety and security to hotels and staff. So what does that look like? Well, let me share our journey with you. So we started really the idea 2015, late 2015. I saw the technology really in the infrastructure coming together in such a way that we could play around with some ideas. And so 2016, we started doing a ton of research, came together with an idea for automation for hotels, affordable automation. 2017 started building this, and in 2018 we're showing this to some friends, and one of our neighbors who is an ER surgeon, she was looking at this and she goes, you know what, Don, this is really cool. Now she's a very petite Asian lady traveling all across the country to different hospitals and staying in a lot of hotels at this time. So she goes, you know, this is pretty cool, but there's something there's something I really want to see. That something became our why. And it's in that middle of between idea and at the end where you're all partying and having a great time because you made the world a better place. It's that middle part that's the goal. That's where you find your why. And that's what happened to us. In 2019, of course, we made a big pivot, go in this direction, get ready. In 2020, COVID hits. Everything on pause, and now it's 2021 and we're ready to restart. So without further ado, what was that one thing she said was, I really just want to know that no one is in my room when I open the door. I just want to know I'm safe. And also I want my privacy. So all the fancy stuff she didn't care about. She just wanted to know when she checks in, she's going to be safe. That really struck us. You know, Jessica is a research guru as well as CMO. So she started deep diving in all this, and we found an article published by Risk and Insurance in late 2019. This was amazing. The unknown factor. 90% of women business travelers don't feel safe. We also found, of course, last year that hygiene and a clean room is the second top priority for everyone who's having to stay at hotels, who wants to stay at hotels, next to price. That is the most important thing, and is basically the unseen. And of course, the unexpected. And this is my big pet peeve, is that knock, knock, knock on the door, and you're in the middle of something, and housekeeping's got to do their job. They don't know who's inside, and it just becomes one of those interruptions. So what we're working on, our solution, is a scalable, robust system for awareness. Now, this really goes on both sides of the door. This helps the hotel see, is there a guest inside the room or not? And if there is, knock and wait. And if you're a guest and you're out for the day, now you get text messages telling you that your room is secure, and housekeeping came in at 3:02 and cleaned your room, and your room is secure since then. So this is what we're building. So for a guest, No apps to download on your phone. This simply just works. You check into your hotel and it just starts working. You check out and it stops working. So it's very easy, easy to just flow into. So what does it actually look like? How does it work? Well, we put a few IoT sensors. That's the Internet of Things. We put a couple of sensors for PIR motion, so we detect motion in room. We also do heat and, temperature and humidity. And so back to the hotel, we just show up basically an on-off switch. Someone is in the room, someone is out. If the room is unoccupied, the hotel can set a certain tolerance for temperature and humidity. So this goes back to sustainability. It helps maintain costs for the hotel, but also takes it easy on the grid, makes everything a little bit greener. And what we see is just pure data there. So we have absolutely secure or guarantee privacy. So we'd never use cameras. We never use heat maps. It's basically PIR, which you can see there on the right, just computer data. Again, what the hotel sees is a high level view at a glance. They see which rooms are occupied, which rooms are not, which rooms they need to adjust the temperature or humidity. So we found 4 key things, benefits, that this is not only helping hotels and guests, but the community as well. Of course, the guest experience and safety to hotel staff, sustainability, which I just talked about. But here's something that we're really excited about, and that is the application for first responders. Let's say you're in an older hotel, there's a gas leak or someone smells gas, something is not right, and you've got to call first responders. They assess and they say, we need to evacuate and make sure everything is safe. How do you know which rooms have people in them? When you only have moments to react, this is going to help. We truly believe this is going to help first responders. So what happens is, at a glance, they can see which rooms and which floors have a number of rooms that are occupied, and they can literally shave minutes off response and get those folks to safety. So our system is completely autonomous. Drop in, we bring our own network. It's cellular, our own gateways. Everything is wireless, so we can go into historic hotels, historic buildings with a no-touch application or deployment. We can go into brand new facilities. So yeah, and we like to say we don't compete, we complement. So smart rooms or existing rooms. This is what we're building. And so, hopefully we do make the world a better place. And with your feedback, and I'd love to hear from you guys, and I'd just love to hear, and we'll adjust. And so hopefully hearing from you guys will help us improve the product. So thank you so much again for your time, and I'm all ears.
Thanks, Ben. Or Don, sorry, I saw B and didn't change my mind. Don. So if you have questions or feedback for Don, by the way, Don was like about 7 minutes, so pretty darn close on the timing right there. It's always hard to hit. I know from personal experience, wanting to ramble on, which I'm doing right now. If you have a question, I'm not gonna put the slide up right now, but just put the reactions tab down there. You can click raise hand, or you can type it in the chat, and we're off to the races. So let's start with Jesse. Why don't you unmute and go?
Oh, sorry. So I did see Eric's hand go up before mine, so I passed it on to him, and I'll come back around.
All right, Eric.
So that's really interesting stuff. I really appreciate how you went through and told us the whole story. Great job there. And
Thank you.
I can see that you're getting this story down, which is great. I have a bunch of questions, but I'm going to ask just one, and hopefully we'll get to the others, or others will. But the first thing that came to my mind is, if I have a hotel or a place that I'm going to be using this, is there like an AI that's going to alert me to certain issues, or is it a database that I have to monitor and have a person monitor?
Yeah, absolutely. We come to you. This is meant to be an automated system. You can get alerts via email or alerts on text messages on your phone, or even a voice alert. So the system can even call you and tell you an alert, with a voice alert. The idea is that you can set different alerts to different groups of people. So if you're in corporate, let's say you own 3 or 4 hotels and you're the owner, the CEO, you can choose to drill down as deep as you want to. Or if you're housekeeping, you don't need to worry about so much management. You need to worry about the floors that you're responsible for cleaning that day. So you would only get those alerts related to that. So
Awesome. Thanks.
Thanks for the question.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. So now back to Jesse.
Thank you. So Don, great. I do like your story, and I think you're definitely on something with the first responder. It's important, and I actually have about 25 years experience as a firefighter, and several questions around that. But one is that something that is just going to be housed within the facility so responders can get it, or do they share that to the local EMS?
Great question. I've thought about this a few times, and eventually we want to get to where it goes directly to the EMS, the responders. We'll need to do a few more steps before we get there. But for right now, it's just available there at the facility. For front desk can share that out, can hand over an iPad, or actually an email a link or something like that. Probably also we're talking about putting QR codes throughout the hotels, and that's a big thing right now. There's a lot of conversation with several hotels about QR codes, so that contactless response. So we may do something like that also, but
Sure.
the idea is eventually what you're talking about, that's the dream, is to automate it like that.
Yeah, fantastic. So with internal systems, so I've consulted to hotels before, and they're a mess. A lot of the problems that you're messing is actually because of internal processes, and so yours just ticks off one box, but there's multiple problems there with your systems. Are never secure. Their Wi-Fi's are always weak. So do you have a system to supplement that so it's not putting more pressure onto them, which I'd be concerned as a hotel owner? And second is that, does your system integrate if a hotel already has an app?
Yeah, definitely. I think yes on both accounts. So the first one is we do have our own autonomous system. It's a cellular system, completely autonomous from the hotel. So we never burden the hotel Wi-Fi. It's a completely separate system, ultra secure. There's no dual access. There's only a one direction flow of data and information. So it does stay ultra secure, 256-bit encryption, and it's very, very secure. So for the second one, yeah, I think yes, on both accounts, we're able to walk in today with what we have, and that's how we open the door. We've talked to Hilton initially, one of their franchises, and they love the idea, and so when we go the direction of the big chains, we'll definitely integrate into those apps. The idea of not having an app specifically is that if you stay at a hotel, you love it, and you come back like a year later and you're like, man, where was that app on my phone? Or I'm running out of memory. I'm going to delete everything that I don't need right now. So we wanted to avoid that thing altogether. But yeah, ideally integrating with existing apps, that's definitely something on the.
I 100% agree with not putting an app, but even most places are using apps to track the customers. Actually becomes your key card and integrates into multiple platforms of their service. So yeah, thank you so much.
We are looking at integrating with hotel PMSs, and that's another thing. So if we can go directly to the PMS of the hotel, we can track, which rooms are booked and therefore, get that data from there. But yeah.
Thanks, Jesse. Great insight. We've got Kareem next, followed by Stephanie with the questions.
All right, thank you so much for that presentation. It sounds really exciting to eventually have this product kind of in the market and helping people feel safe. It's cool. I I guess my first question goes to I'm a little bit unclear about what the crystal clear customer is, right? Is the customer the hotel group, or is the customer the female business traveler?
Good question. We actually struggled a bit with that. When we had this epiphany in late 2018, we did struggle with that. I think we finally settled that the hotel is the customer. And we're really building this for them. So it's kind of a B to C to B approach.
So, okay, so B to C to B. So is that you will advertise to the female business traveler to look for hotels that have this feature?
Yeah, absolutely. And we plan on contacting when we really begin to gain momentum in the market. What we'd like to do is go to some of these travel companies and say, hey, can you make sure that when you're booking hotels, ask the hotel, do you have Safe Stay 365? It adds another layer, and it's not just for women, but it's also for like families. I'm talking to a couple of resorts right now, very family oriented. Keep track of the kids, leave the kids in the room, or go for dinner or something like that. So it's definitely we're working on that.
So I guess my feedback would be consider if a direct path wouldn't be more effective, right? Around going directly into the hotels, trade groups, going into the distributors that service hotelers, right? Because there's a different level of sophistication and a different pitch style that would be effective for hotelers versus business travelers. I'm thinking specifically around data security, right? Hotels will be hypersensitive around who else is going to know who's in our rooms, right? And so they will have a stronger focus, maybe not stronger, but certainly a different focus on data security than would a everyday business traveler or a family.
Right.
So then it's kind of, these are a little bit of product questions. How does the system handle people in the shower, right? Will it require multiple sensors in a room? Is it a single kind of bed oriented sensor? Kind of how are you thinking about it?
Sure, there's a couple of different sensors in the room. So we do, we're not, at this moment, we're not using AI. We're taking a rules-based approach. Later, we may integrate AI. There's some reasons behind that. And so a couple of different sensors. And with that, we basically want to know if someone comes in the room, and what they do in the room is their business. We want complete privacy to the guest. So, whatever they do, they're short of cooking with an open flame, which I have seen before, believe it or not. But short of that, we just really want to protect that privacy and that away from. We want to give the hotel more or less an on-off switch. Is someone in the room? Is someone not in the room? That's really the key right there. To go back to your presentation differences, I totally believe in that. I'd love to get detailed feedback from you. If you want to email me some ideas or contact, we'd love to talk with you, follow up on that. We do have a hotel presentation, so this is kind of a 1 million cups presentation, a little bit more generalized, but sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I will give back my time. Absolutely, we can have email conversations onward, because I think my feedback is getting that narrative crisp and the customer really dialed in, and to present the features of your product in such a way that it just absolutely crushes the pain that the customer is having is really the thing that can help you overcome the fact that you're a new company, right? The fact that you have to answer the data security questions, the fact that you've got a background in tech and your wife has a background in CMO, but where's the blockchain super technology person? Where's the hotel experience person, right? So
we have them, believe it. We have both, and they're icons. And let me give my wife a quick plug, because she just won a competition. It's called the 2-Minute Drill by David Meltzer. You can find this on Amazon Prime Video. 2-Minute Drill. You can search for that. She's on episode 11.
Congratulations.
She does this presentation in 2 minutes. She is like, laser focused. and she did a great job. So check it out. She gives a lot more detail than I just did on the business side.
Sounds fantastic. I mean, no disrespect. Like
No, you're good. I really appreciate your feedback. I'd love to have follow-up conversation with you.
Absolutely.
Cool.
All right, thank you, Kareem. So Stephanie was next, and then followed by Rashawn. And just if you have 2 questions, just ask one, and then we'll come back to you buffet style.
Okay, mine's kind of like a sub question. It's going to be a little bit off of what Kareem says. One, from the feedback from there, I really think the type, so my background is marketing, where I'm actually owner of a marketing agency. And one big thing is I think you probably should not emphasize on wanting to have brand equity at this stage, because getting brand equity where your end consumer is going to be like, oh yeah, do you use this particular data security feature? They're not going to do that. If they already have a struggle, as I saw with Jessica's comment, of wanting to put an app because there's so many hotels, I wouldn't even focus on that at this stage. I would focus specifically on the hotel specifically, and just, again, increase your narratives directly to them about data security. My question was actually in line with a 2-part. One is, how are you approaching the hotel VP executives at this stage? And 2, have you thought of different verticals, such as the one I think immediately for security reasons who would have the same fear factor is universities, dorm rooms, places with schools. That's going to be like a thing where that's, again, different than a hotel guest. It's a bigger building, even corporate offices. If you're not going to have anything with cameras or, privacy for that reason, going into a giant university or school room or whatever, if you're in a study breakout and you're in the middle of all hours of the night, especially on a public campus, that's where I would be curious if there's any interest in that, or if you guys are looking to that, and who are you targeting now?
Yeah, great questions. We have looked at universities, specifically dorm rooms. We just haven't pushed into that too far, but definitely that's one of our top 3, verticals. So we feel that hotels will probably give us the best traction, especially right now coming out of COVID. The market is recovering and it's starting to accelerate, back into a normal market. The second vertical that we're looking at is apartments and high-rise apartments. We think those would be really good market for us as well. And then certainly university dorm rooms. What we're doing right now is a lot of cold calls, just directly contacting hotels and their management. We're also doing a lot of LinkedIn connection, and we're starting to warm those connections. Jessica's done a lot of that, and so have I. So we're turning that market into a warm market and building those relationships. We're also involved quite a bit with MPI, particularly out of New York, and other companies that are like fringe companies, like limousine companies, where they take people from the airport to the hotel. We're working with companies like that as well in their relationships, just trying to add value. So yeah, hope that answered your question.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Stephanie. We got Rashawn, and then followed by Tiara.
Hi, Rashawn.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Don. My question leans a little bit more towards the privacy end of things. And I guess, do you anticipate, customer privacy concerns, even though, like I said, you have these sensors that are, non-camera affiliated, but are basically sensing, essentially either body heat, movement, or something else within the rooms themselves. But the concern with some customers that, I don't really like the idea of, a platform knowing, hey, when, I come into my room, when I leave, and that more or less kind of being a sense, I guess, really kind of translating more further into security issues. Yes, I get the concern of, hey, I want to know if someone is in my room or not when I haven't been. Primarily, I think, when we look at hotel stays, housekeeping service being the ones that would be entering the room more often than not when you may or may not be there. But securing that, even kind of post-COVID, what I've seen a lot of hotels do, they're obviously tagging and securing the rooms with some sort of tamper seal once they close that door to show, hey, this has been cleaned this day, blah, blah, blah. And I guess kind of, have you really thought about, overall with some of those questions that arise and say, hey, I would like to quote unquote opt out of this. I don't want, a platform or me getting a notification on my phone to show when I've gone, when I've left, just because, and like I said, translating that into further security concerns with, how secure are these systems? We live in an age where, digital currency is being, hacked into. A lot of digital platforms, are vulnerable at some scale. And, if someone was really looking to track the whereabouts of someone, how comfortable or do you feel that your security system for this platform would be? I know that's a couple of questions. I apologize, but yeah.
No worries. Great questions. Yeah. So interestingly enough, we've actually got quite the opposite response from guests. We've gotten a very positive. When is this going to come out? I can't wait for this to come out. Very, very positive, particularly from women. And they would love to have this extra layer of awareness. And it's really an awareness and transparency system, right? We use the word security, but security and safety, of course. But so we have gotten a little bit of, this is interesting dynamic. The hotels that we have talked with, and we talked to several GMs. And so the hotels that are about the mid-level hotel down to your more economic hotels, they push back on us as far as they're saying that we're giving the guests too much information and that might cause liability issues for them. On the other hand, from about mid-range up to your luxury level hotels, they love it. They love the idea. They say, yep, this is going to enhance our guest experience. This is going to bring quality and attractiveness to our hotel. So it's a very interesting dynamic. I think out of all the people that I've talked to and surveyed, I got one person who was concerned about that. Just last thing to answer is we're definitely going to include a opt-in or opt-out. When you first check into your hotel, you'll get a link on your phone. You can follow that link and you have the choice to opt in or opt out. So definitely. So I think I missed part of your questions, but I want to jump over. I can come back to you or just email me.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Rashawn. We've got Tiara next with the questions.
Hi, Tiara.
Hi, Don. Hi, Jessica. Hi, everyone. Great presentation. I just wanted to give a personal experience. I think maybe the men won't be able to relate as much, but like maybe Jessica and I. So I was in a hotel in Seattle. I lived in Olympia. We would come up to Seattle to have fun. There's not much to do in Olympia. And my friends and I, we stayed at a hotel. Two of my girlfriends left. I'm the last one in the hotel. And a couple minutes later, not even the maids, it was maintenance. Some maintenance guy comes into my room. I'm completely naked, getting dressed.
Oh, no.
And he opens the door and just no knocking, no anything, and just stands there for about what for me felt like 10 minutes, but it was probably like 30 seconds just staring at me. And I'm shaking talking about it. So there's definitely a need there. And I could see that this being the solution, whereas, you maybe just saw two people leave, but they could see that there's still someone in the room. So super beneficial. Thank you for creating this. And then my question was, what would be the objections? So you're selling it to hotels and such. What would be some of their other objections? Would it be pricing? And I'm curious about pricing too. So thank you.
Great feedback. Thank you so much for sharing it. I have a question for you. Can you follow up with Jessica? Because we have some stories very, very similar to yours that people have told us. And I mean, this is like our fuel to build this. So we want to make sure that everybody stays safe, but also uninterrupted as well. So please follow up with Jessica. So yeah, I mean, I think the big barrier that we have is that we're coming fresh off of COVID-19. The hospitality industry was literally decimated. There was one company that he's actually one of our advisors. He's an icon in the industry for 40 years. The company that he just retired as CEO of this company in 2019 and then joined us in 2020. He told me a story at the height of COVID, how their office in New York had 300 people. and it went down to 30. And they're just, hotels just had to figure out a way to survive, basically, as a business. That's getting better now. And we really think we're at the right place, the right time to kind of catch this momentum, not just help them, but really just kind of scale the business. So did I get all of your questions? I'd love to get your feedback too. Yeah.
Yeah, so one objection might be just that they're having to scale down so much and not being able to add it because of that.
Yeah, so I think our biggest challenge is showing them value, because they're immediately looking at the book saying we're under, right now. We've got to make payroll. We've got to survive. And so right now our model is basically a subscription or a license to the hotel. Now we are exploring a soft pivot, which will take us more in the area of analytics and paying for this through, like, basically selling general information, nothing private, but just stats on rooms of the hotels, temperatures, the west side of the hotel stays warmer than the east side, things like this. When rooms need to be refreshed or remodeled. That's a huge thing. Wear and tear on hotels, super, super expensive. So we're looking at that right now as maybe a viable model, where we can predict, these 8 rooms are really the ones that you need to remodel instead of 80, and that saves a lot of money for hotels. So definitely, it comes down to money, basically. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Here. So we've got Eric with a question, then following up with the final one is Sarah. And I think that we might be out of time at that point.
Hi, Eric.
Hey, so you've answered a lot of the stuff. I was thinking about this thing, and that is insurance companies. You thought the small ones think there might be a liability issue. I would think it'd be the opposite. Can you go to insurance companies right now, talk to them, and find out if they will give a 1% discount on insurance rates for the hotel for adopting your service, because it does help with first responders. It does help with police initiations into hotel room issues and stuff. So there may be a way to use this to your advantage as a selling point, saying, while you're going to be paying for this service, you'll save this much from your insurance. I don't know if they'll go for that, but you can always check. Yeah,
I mean, definitely. We have talked about that in the past, and it's definitely on our list of action items. So, but no, great idea. I think probably what we have on the immediate plans is to get some level of traction, just as pilots. So we're offering that free pilot, and actually we're offering the service for free until the offer is until the end of May. So hotels can experience this. We'll front the equipment cost and install, and so to build that traction, that's going to help us with down the road with attracting investors and going to those key companies like insurance companies and say, what can we do here? But I think we need to build credibility and demand first from the hotels, and then yeah, it's definitely on. So thank you for that. Thank you, Eric. And Sarah, I think you were next. Hi.
Hi. I thought it was a great presentation, and I love the idea. I used to do a lot of business traveling alone, and I would have loved this. Absolutely loved it. Going into a room and checking behind the curtain and all of that. I used to do it every time. And so what I wanted to mention was airlines and cabin crew. So the person who taught me how to check a room when I go into it is a friend of mine who is Virgin cabin crew, and she actually did have a very awful experience of going into a room and finding a guy in there who had hidden in her bathroom and was able to get out because she'd followed her Virgin training of how to open the door with her case and all of this stuff. But it occurred to me as you were speaking and people were talking about, you're talking about a pilot situation, a pilot case, that maybe something with an airline and a hotel could work, because you've got that group of customers or consumers who want to use the hotel, who come in a nice block booking, and who also have a company behind them who've got lots of money, and also have a company that really spends a lot of money training them on exactly this issue. So I wondered if that was a good way in. And also hotels want airline bookings, you know, they want to have those contracts.
No, that's great feedback. We're actually talking with one of the hotel aggregators. So basically, they're the middle piece between the airline companies and the hotels. So they make sure that those rooms get booked and the crew gets to the right rooms and all that. So we're actually talking with them. We started talking to them last year. So it's just a matter of us, I think, getting the technology to a certain place. But we have initial talks with them about doing pilots and running a pilot program there. So yeah, brilliant confirmation of what that we're talking to the right people. I really appreciate that. Jessica has an amazing story also about a flight crew and this. I think her name is Kamalata. Anyway, she has that whole like do this when you get in your room, make sure it's safe. So yeah, it's definitely
they have like
a big
plan. And my friend actually gave it to me because I was doing so much travel and I talked to her about this, and she said, yeah, do this every time you go into a new room, and I do. So yeah, they really do take it seriously.
Thank you so much, and you guys, please reach out to Jessica, because she builds these stories. She listens and kind of aggregates all of this together. So love to hear you guys, you know, feedback and ideas. Thank you so much.
We're actually out of time for today for questions. So Ben, if you want to ask a question, just send it right off to Don. And that's actually kind of how Millennials and Cups works, is we want to connect with our presenter afterwards and keep the conversation going. So don't feel like we're cut too short. It's kind of on purpose. So let's get rolling here. So thank you, Don, for the presentation, and thank you everyone for the questions. We got a couple more slides here to run through really quick. And the first one we do with everybody is, can everyone see my screen? Orange, yes. Is what can the 1 Million Cups community do for you, Don and Jessica?
Yeah, I mean, introductions to hotels, that's probably the biggest thing, because we're really looking to do pilots right now, start tweaking our technology, test it out in a live environment. We've done some early beta testing, that's gone pretty well, but we really need to go long-term in an environment of a real hotel. So any, you know, introductions to owners, managers, anything like that would be greatly appreciated. We're not limited to a region. We can go anywhere in the US, and we're even talking to a couple of hotels in Canada right now as well. So would greatly appreciate that.
Awesome. Yeah, and the email, both your emails are in the chat, by the way, if anyone wants the clear text that can be copied. So great one. So really quick shout out is the 1 Million Cups anniversary of existing is on May 12th, the second week in May, and we're having something going on there. So just keep that aware. We're going to be doing something special. We'll be sending emails out. Don't book anything too fun that day, because we're gonna be in charge of the fun that day. Okay. So, and if you would like to also present like Don did and like Jessica did and like so many.
I'm on a call, man.
Oh, and if you wanted to present, you can also do so. Just log in at 1millioncups.com/Seattle and you can apply to present. And all you have to be doing is trying something new, willing to ask for help and learn by doing, just like Don did. He asked for ideas and thoughts and help, and y'all provided it to him. I was blown away. Everyone knew a lot of really great feedback and information. If you want to also get involved as an organizer and contribute to your local Seattle chapter, that would be super stellar and great. If you want to talk about it even, just write us a note, seattle@1millioncups.com. I would love to chat with you. And then that leads us tidily to breakout rooms. So breakout rooms is just an opportunity to connect with your fellow entrepreneurs, one-on-two. If you have video, turn it on. You can continue the conversation. We can talk about this presentation, talk about your companies, talk about the weather, if you really run out of stuff, and meet someone new and share an idea. So that's the whole idea of breakout rooms. So we're going to start those, and then how they work is you have a free pass to leave when you need. No excuses. Just say, hey, I got to go. It was great chatting with you. So stay on as long as you can or want to. And other than that, we will see everyone here and maybe even more. Bring a friend next week, or an enemy. And we'll see you all next week. And again, don't forget about that 1 million cups anniversary coming up. We'll shoot you all email. Well, thanks everyone for coming. We'll see you next week. Take care. And those should be open right now officially.
Thank you, Leif. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Don. Thanks, Jessica.